Hey there, this is Mrs. Rancourt reading the end of The House on Mango Street. Woo whoop, woo whoop, we made it. Vignettes 43 and 44 are to follow. Here we go. Vignette 43 is called A House of My Own. Not a flat, not an apartment in back, not a man's house, not a daddy's. A house all my own, with my porch and my pillow, my pretty purple petunias, my books and my stories, my two shoes waiting beside the bed. Nobody to shake a stick at, nobody's garbage to pick up after. Only a house quiet as snow, a space for myself to go, clean as paper before the poem. So that's a super short vignette. Here are your reflection questions for vignette number 43. Remember, when you are creating a reading response note, you want to include the vignette number, the vignette title, the setting, the character, a plot summary, along with a connection. Reflection question number 1 reads, what will Esperanza's house not be? What does this say about Esperanza? So what does this say about her as a person? Number 2, what type of person is Esperanza? Is she an introvert? That means that she loses energy when around other people. It makes her tired. Or is she an extrovert? That means she gains energy when being around others. So being around a lot of people makes her hyper. How do you know? Make sure you are using text evidence to support your two answers here. You'll want to go ahead and pause this video before I give you the prompt for the double entry journal. So your double entry journal prompt is as follows. Historically, why have certain groups been barred from owning land? That means that they're not allowed. What does land or home ownership symbolize? What message does it convey to others? So what message does it mean to other people? Why is that important? For this double entry, you want to make sure you are using a T-chart. Evidence from the novella goes on the left. That supports commentary on the right. There is a template for a double entry journal and a reading response on our Edsby page. You can also find it on our Google Drive. You'll want to go ahead and pause this video now before I read vignette 44. Vignette number 44. Mango says goodbye sometimes. I like to tell stories. I tell them inside my head. I tell them after the mailman says, "Here's your mail, here's your mail," he said. I make a story for my life, for each step my brown shoes take. I say, and so she trudged up the wooden stairs, her sad brown shoes taking her to the house she never liked. I like to tell stories. I'm going to tell you a story about a girl who didn't want to belong. We didn't always live on Mango Street. Before that, we lived on Loomis on the 3rd floor. And before that, we lived on Keeler. Before Keeler, it was Paulina. But what I remember most is Mango Street. Sad red house, the house I belong but do not belong to. I put it down on paper, and then the ghost does not ache so much. I write it down, and Mango says goodbye sometimes. She does not hold me with both arms. She sets me free. One day I will pack my bags of books and paper. One day I will say goodbye to Mango. I am too strong for her to keep me here forever. One day I will go away. Friends and neighbors will say, "What happened to that Esperanza? Where did she go with all those books and paper? Why did she march so far away?" They will not know I have gone away to come back for the ones I left behind, for the ones who cannot out. So for our last vignette, here are your reflection questions. Numero uno, what does Esperanza do to get through each day? Dos, what are Esperanza's goals for her future? Does she plan on following the three sisters' advice? And how does this vignette come full circle from the first vignette in the novella? So how does this vignette kind of complete the story? How does it start us over again at the first vignette? Make sure you are using text evidence to support these answers. You'll want to go ahead and pause this video now before I give you the prompt for Vignette 44. So your double entry journal prompt is, have you ever felt left behind by someone who moved? Have you ever left someone behind because you felt you had to? Explain your story. So that's it. That's your final double entry journal prompt for this novella. You guys did a great job with this. I'm so proud of you. Make sure if you need any help at all, you have any questions, you're confused about the novella or any of these vignettes, please send a Remind 101 message to me, or you can send myself or Mrs. Gelberg a message on Edsby, but don't be shy. Make sure you're joining our Zooms, ask questions so that you're not confused. I hope you're not going too stir crazy being all stuck up at your house. Maybe someday we'll see each other again.